Benefit from no ATM fees nationwide with a Columbia Bank Advantage Plus checking account. Use any ATM anywhere nationwide for total convenience. Make any ATM your ATM. For Advantage Plus checking, receive credit up to 10 surcharges or $30 per statement cycle, whichever is less at domestic ATMs not owned by us that charge a transaction surcharge. Maximum rebate of $360 for 12 statement cycles. All offers are subject to be withdrawn at any time. Member FDIC, count on Columbia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. And I'm your host, Janet Caroletta, with my co-host, Karen Christine Patrick. And today we interview Jimmy Mack. And Jimmy is a renowned medical intuitive and spiritual life coach who has taken, completed, and even mastered a variety of healing modalities. After a near-death experience, he was shown and developed a simpler way to create healing and profound changes, now known as My Liquid Fish, Change Made Simple. He works with clients in person, on the phone, and over Skype worldwide, accessing energetic powers and co-creating changes that you can actually feel. When we access the healing code and utilize the language of spirit, we can alter our beliefs in our holographic structural design. Often this can change our outlook and our world as we know it. After decades of studying and practicing a variety of healing methods, practices, and disciplines, I had a near-death experience in ICU in the hospital that changed my life forever. I was shown things and told things that allowed me to access all that is and bring the ethereal rain that can make a difference in your life. Consciousness Tutor, and if we can change the software, we can change our lives by tapping into the field of our hearts, our feelings and beliefs. We can transcend all the laws of lack and separation, thus shattering our paradigm of limitations. And before we bring on Jimmy, that was great. I enjoyed reading that. I'd like to make sure we have Karen here with us. Karen, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Hello. Hello from a new place in New Mexico. So we just moved across town, and we're up on a mesa, and it's a beautiful view of the Sandia Mountains and other mountain ranges, and it's been an upgrade. It feels great.
Oh, I'm happy for you. I know. Well, I don't envy you unpacking and all that moving.
No.
But I am happy for you. I hope you can find your toothbrush. That's all I know.
Where's exactly. Thank you so much.
Where's stop?
Yeah, it's a game. Where's the game? It's the where's the game. Exactly.
So, anything you want to say before I bring on Jimmy?
Okay.
Nope. Okay, Okay, Jimmy Mack, welcome to our show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I can.
Oh, we're
can you
really
hear me?
delighted to. Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
I enjoyed reading that. I was fascinated by your. It sounds like you're a little bit like Edgar Casey. You know, you can do distance healing. You have to go to sleep, though, right?
I do a lot of that. You know, like I said, I mean, we'll work on you all tonight. You know, that's no problem at all, and work on any challenges you might want to share live on the air. You know, depending on what that is. But yeah, definitely tune in. And a lot of clients will use pendulums, or they already muscle test themselves, or they'll just do standing applied kinesiology and muscle testing, and we use that as pretty much the medium for getting.
Fascinating. I was drawn to your story about your near-death experience. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Sure. Yeah, and I understand you had one as well. I was actually at a healing seminar and got really, really, really sick, and basically had it coming out of both ends. So we've all been there at one time or another, and that was horrific.
Oh, yeah.
So I told my friend, you need to take me to the hospital, or at least an emergency room. And so I went there, and they did every test they could and figured out in a hurry I had really bad gallbladder attack, and so it felt more like back pain.
Oh, I've had that one.
Yeah, that'll wake you up. So I think for men it probably is the closest thing to childbirth. So it's and we're wimps when it comes to pain for the most part. So there you go. But and I thought, well,
even worse than childbirth. That's what I heard. It's even worse.
It was brutal. Well, I don't know the childbirth thing, and I certainly my hats off to the ladies. But yeah, it was brutal for me at least. And anyway, they decided they were going to go ahead and do that, and surgery went fine. Thank God they didn't totally kill me, but they gave me too much anesthesia, so I woke up in recovery and had full-blown clinical pneumonia. So that was a train wreck. And you're in trouble when all the doctors come into your room and they're heads of all the departments, and it was a teaching hospital. And I said to my raspy, had the tube crammed down my throat voice, you guys must have really screwed up. And they said, why do you say that? I said, because there's no students with you. So it was a teaching hospital. It didn't very funny. I thought it was funny. I could have hit them, So anyway, they just had every major department there in the room. They're like, well, we don't know this and we don't know that. Maybe we'll monitor you here. And I finally said to the surgeon, I said, listen, pretend I'm your uncle, your best friend, your brother, your son. What would you do? He goes, oh, I'd put you in ICU. I said, just lead the way, please. So off we went, of course. And my experience was, of course, at that point you got full-blown clinical pneumonia, and they're just praying that you don't have blood clots and everything else. But I was coding every night at midnight, and everybody that has ever been in that situation or been in the hospital in ICU and on a weekend, you're dreaming the nurses will save your life, but there isn't a doctor to be found for the most part. So I had very profound experiences. I never saw white light or Jesus or any of that. My brother had passed over. He was gorgeous in the early 90s. Never saw him. But what I was going up into was very ethereal and deep inner space. And then it was just the wildest music and the richest colors and just outrageously cool. It tears me up to talk about it. So it was very, very, very profound.
I hear you.
Back from. And yeah, so if you had that experience, and a lot of people did, and I thought I was crazy for probably 6 months afterwards, because I thought, well, I didn't see white light, I didn't see Jesus, I wonder where in the heck I'm going, but then the name of the DVD escapes me, but someone gave me a DVD and said, Jimmy, all these people on this DVD had your same experience, and I was like, oh, thank God. So it was so mystical and so magical, and I thought, well, heck, maybe anybody that tells you they totally understand it is really full of it. But my experience was that it provided several things. One is I'm no longer scared of death, obviously. The second is, you can really live your life full throttle to the floor, put the pedal to the metal, and do all you can all the way to the door, because now you know what to expect. And the third is I don't even think I'm coming back here, so it wasn't like that at all, or seeing the people. And so I felt like I was going somewhere other than here, obviously. And hopefully, if I do it right for the rest of this life, I'll complete whatever and be done. So, but that was the feeling I got through it. And I don't know if you want to share some of yours or if you had similarities as well.
Yeah, I'm going to just ask a couple questions on that, because
sure.
In mine, I did not get the surgery. They didn't even approach me about the surgery. It wasn't until 2 weeks later I finally got what had happened. It was very weird. This is Maui. They're very weird here. What I thought... It's
beautiful,
together,
but weird.
Well, they gave me... I think they give you ketamine. I talked to an emergency room doctor, and I said, what do you give to people that are in excruciating pain and they're screaming and you want them to shut up? And yeah, they gave me something. I said, and I am a child of the 60s, so I understood, it was something. No, you gave me something, because I was seeing, and this gentleman said, well, I'd love to, give the people ketamine for their pain, and then I sit with them and they tell me, this is in Utah or something, they tell me what they're seeing. So he sits with people as they're on their spiritual journeys, right? And he heard all kinds of stories. So what I saw was I was in the center of a room that was circular, and there were alcoves all the way around, and in each alcove was literally, and this blew my mind, an angel with wings, because I don't believe in the angels with wings stuff, right? And here they were, but they were each a different color of the chakra. They were each a different chakra color, and they were just sending me energy, and I was really good. I was looking at them. I'm looking at them, and this lady comes up, a nurse or something, and she goes, "What are you doing?" You know, it's like she scared me. I go, "Oh," but I didn't tell her what I was seeing. I think I was locked in like a dead stare, and she died or something because I was just so focused, obviously looking at something. So anyway, yes, it was weird and it was wonderful at the same time. I don't recommend you do this at home, but
right.
So what did you see? You said you. Say that again, what you said. I know you said it, but I'm sorry.
Well, it's really more like deep inner space. The closest thing I could say to people is it looked like the Hubble Space Telescope pictures of deep inner space. And in fact, my book is on the cover, and I got permission from NASA to use one of their pictures to even put on the cover of one of my books, and that's really what I was going up into, and that's how I felt. And each night I had a different, really wild experience prior to and during and just after, and so it was just pretty wild stuff. So, but you feel at ultimate peace. You don't feel in danger at all. It feels very soothing. It's comforting. I, in particular, heard a lot of music and saw very rich colors. They might argue about your brain shutting down.
So what kind of music did you hear?
Very ethereal. The most profound one I could tell you that's parallel to it would be Constance Demby, and it's one of, if you Google it, you can look her up. But it's like, I think it's called the Stargate or Novus Magnificat, something like that. Very, very ethereal. So.
Say her last name again, Constance.
Constance Demby, D-E-M-B-Y, and it's called Enter the Stargate, and it's called Novus Magnificat, and that's the kind of thing.
God.
So and it's a really cool CD, and that front and rear, it's like one continuous song moving up into different octaves and different ranges and things. So that's really what it was like. Very, very, very angelic. Ethereal, so very profound to me.
I found it. I'm gonna listen to it after the show.
Yeah, get that. Listen to it.
Karen, what are your thoughts, comments on what we just talked about?
Near-death experiences. I'll start with my daughter. I have a daughter who has multiple disabilities, but she was having a spinal operation when she was 9 years old, and she had a severe allergy to latex, so they were trying to do a latex-free, procedure, and a little tiny bit got through from the anesthesiologist pulling through a bottle with a little tiny bit of latex. Got up into her line. She had a massive allergic reaction and basically went away, right? And then they resuscitated her and got her back and finished the surgery. And then she was pretty loopy for a while because she was on heavy medication for pain and whatnot. And finally, when she kind of got a grip on, you can communicate with her, she said that she believes in, she's a very simple person. She believes in the angels and Jesus and God and all that stuff. And she said, though, that she had a choice of whether to stay in where she was at in that sort of heavenly sort of experience, or whether to come back. And she chose to come back. And I was just startled at that, because when she came back to, first of all, she is born paraplegic, so half her body doesn't work right. Plus she has other medical complications. I mean, she's coming back from having a perfect body, right, in the other side, to a broken one on this one. And yet she made that decision. And I just really knew from that point on that she had some special mission that I don't know about. I know a lot of people really feel blessed when they talk to me. She's very sweet. Well, she's redhead. She can also be, she's kind of got an interesting personality. But my own experience, I believe I had a near-death experience when I was quite young, because I feel like I'm a person that walks between worlds off and on, or will have what they call disassociation, but I just go halfway there and here, especially when I'm stressed. So a couple of years ago, I was under very severe stress. I had my mother was ill. I still had to help with my daughter. There was other issues going on. And I literally did not want to be here. I just didn't want to be here. And I knew I didn't have to be, but I had to be, right? I had family. So I literally was like, I was like walking between the worlds. I don't know how to explain that unless you've ever had that happen. So like if I was sitting in a chair quiet, I wouldn't be there. I'd be halfway over on the other side, just, in etheric lands. And some of what you're talking about, Johnny, was like spacey sort of places. One place was like a Greek garden. It had like ruins and it had flowers and it had columns and sort of that sort of thing. And I just was going to different places and just meeting with a lot of different kinds of and then when I needed to be fully awake or active, I was kind of fully awake or active enough to do whatever it is I was required of me to do, but I was about halfway there. I was still communing with other beings during that time. A lot of what I had to do was caregiving, which is a bit mindless and tedious, so I would spend time, educating myself in what I think is the other internet, is the INNERNET internet. So I would be accessing information, talking with beings, that sort of thing. And I think from what I understand, that happens to some people who've had near-death experiences. I did have some various illnesses when I was younger, and I had a very significant illness when I was 19 years old. I contracted mononucleosis that went into affecting I almost had my spleen rupture. I had hepatitis. I was very, very, very sick. And I was in a disease cluster at the time, so that I wasn't the only one. And I was hospitalized, and I literally had what I think was an angel or guardian spirit or something next to me, like on a chair. There was a chair next to the bed asking me if I wanted to go or not. And I just wasn't sure because I had this Zippo energy. I mean, no energy. I couldn't even open my eyes. I was so weak, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to stay, but I still felt I had a mission. So I haven't had exactly what people call a classic. Is there one? I mean, everybody's experience is individual, right? So that's just, the experiences that I have. I have pretty often on continual communication with ancestors, with people who've passed on, with ETs, with interdimensionals. So, I mean, to me, it's like that's where we're going, or that's where we're getting in touch with when we have all these kinds of experiences, because we're not our body. Our body is where what we know as our spirit is contained right now to have a human experience. But really, we're much more bigger than that. And sometimes I felt like when I was walking between worlds, that prolongated period of time, I said, I feel like I have this giant spirit, and I'm just sticking my big toe in my body. That's what it felt like. Like, there's so much more to me, and I've just got this one part of me, got my big toe, part of myself. But it really helped. It really helped me because I was under a lot of stress and strain that I did not understand how to deal with, and I got help. And so I'm thankful to Spirit, to Universal Spirit, for helping me through those times. Now I get to share it with people on the show and other times as well. So that's what I'd like to say.
Okay, thanks. All right, we're going to go back to you, Jimmy, and let's see, I'm looking at what's our next topic. How about you pick the next? Oh, curing, yes. Well, tell us about your healing practices and what you do, and how does that work? And maybe
Sure.
Explain how it works.
Yeah.
Sounds fascinating.
Well, I would absolutely. Well, I did a lot of different things. Really grew up Episcopal, and of course, Robin Williams, the comedian, called it Catholic Light. So that's kind of funny to me, and that's what we did and grew up in that and pageantry. And I thought, well, this is a pretty smart bunch. You're all doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs, so this must be all there is. And I was an acolyte and went through that. But then when I went off to college, of course, in the earlier years, I really explored astrology and numerology, and I went to all the psychic and spiritualist churches, and I was like, oh, man, this is exciting and cool and fun to me. And I just thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So I did a lot of different types of healing, of course, Reiki Master, did a bunch of levels of theta healing, reconnective healing, Eric Pearl's work, access consciousness, Ewan method, matrix energetics, just a lot of different things that I went through and just tried out a lot of different modalities and hung out with those folks. And really after my near-death experience, that's when everything started to shift and get even more profound and more mystical. And My Liquid Fish, people can look that up. It's myliquidfish.com. But basically it's similar to a Tai Chi or a yoga type of move. And basically what we're doing is we're deleting out the negative weakness off the earth plane, off of our body, mind, or spirit, and we're releasing that up into the heavens. And then the positive things that we're lacking, or the profound, mystical, magical things we'd like to have, we're going to heaven and we're bringing those in. And it's more of an emotion. It's more of a motion, similar to a fish. And it's not the Christian fish per se. What Spirit showed me over time was infinity is the symbol 8 laying on its side. And they inspired me to take off the back left end. So it's almost like we're loading these things like a roller coaster, or if you go to the bank and use the little tube with the teller, we're putting things in that to check negativity out and download positive things. So that's really the basis of it. I gladly work on either one of you right now if you want to try it. People use pendulums. You'll go?
I'll go first, yeah.
Okay.
You want me
All right.
to get my pendulum, or is that what I need to do?
Oh, you got your pendulum. That's great. Yeah, we'll have you stand up,
let me get
do
it
a
out of
little
my
pumping
purse.
so you can feel it. Sure. Grab
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, let me
and
get
hold
to
on
it.
to that.
There it is. Hold on, I got to get it to the little bag in my purse so I don't lose it. There it is.
There you go. Well, just hold on to that if you
Makeup
can.
bag.
Stand up, and if you stand up and face due north, you want to be in strong mountain pose in yoga. You want to put about a foot in between your feet, and just hold on to that pouch as well, because we're going to clear the pendulum at the same time we clear you. Do you go by any nicknames?
Okay.
What does everybody call you? What is
my
their
spiritual name is Kira.
Kira?
My high spiritual
that's
self
good
is
one.
Kira.
Kira. Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, K-I-R.
They call you Kira. Yeah, they call you Kira, so that's interesting. So if you just say, my name is Kira, you should feel the pull forward.
Pose here. Okay, my name is Kira. Okay.
And you'll feel the pull forward, but if you say, my name is Nemo the fish, it's going to pull you backwards.
My name is Nemo the fish. Okay. And Kira
different?
forward. Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense? Awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go ahead and clear you. I'm just going to clear you. It's going to pull you straight forward when it comes into clear. You'll feel a wave come in.
Mm-hmm.
And feel real gentle and push you forward. And unclear is going to pull you backwards. We're just kind of cleaning you up right now. You'll feel a wave go backwards. There it goes. And you'll feel like a drift.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm running forward. We'll pull you forward. So we're going to pull you forward one more time. And this is as if we're turning on the computer, going to Google, we're looking at images, and we're going on from there. What would you change or make different? In other words, it could be anything. Could be money, could be legal, could be health issues, more listeners for the radio show, whatever you might choose.
It sounds like
Sinuses.
a good direction.
Yeah, all the above, right? You got sinus allergy stuff. Yeah. How about sinus allergy stuff?
I have sinus. I get polyps. I had major surgery last September to remove polyps, which are the worst polyps the doctor had ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I've had them.
How do you feel right now? How's your breathing? How's your breathing right now?
Feels good.
Feels pretty good. All right. Well, we'll just say that anyway. I don't. When I'm in it, it doesn't feel like sinus or sinusitis. It does feel like you still have levels of sinusitis. Sinuses test clear right now. Sinusitis is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more nasal? No, it's not even nasal passages. It's more sinus. So viral, you show up as somewhat bacteria, mold, fungus, mildew, yeast, candida, parasites. You got a little bit of everything going on, so it is kind of a dark, lonely cave country going on in there. So we'll just say that. It feels like a sinusitis and some negativity going on. It's going to pull you forward for yes. You'll feel the pull forward.
Okay.
And I'm going to release it, resolve it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's interconnected with all that. Yeah, that feels like that's interconnected with all that. And I'm going to release it, resolve it, delete it all out now. And all I'm doing is my liquid fish. And I'm making a little movement. It's going to start pulling you backwards when it's done. And you'll feel a wave, and then it'll pull you backwards.
Okay.
There you go. Make sense? So that's what we want to do energetically, is take all that out. Yeah. Gives you a higher probability that things will actually improve. Yeah. And what comes up for you, there's actually, there's a great, they actually have them in Whole Foods in different places. There's a Himalayan product. I'll email you afterwards, but it's called Bresol, Bresol. And that's actually out of India. And the Himalayan herb people have been around since 1930. And I find in the weirdest ways that if we can take some kinds of things from other hemispheres, that it actually helps us. And so it's a little bit different. And it's a very inexpensive supplement. It's all natural. So anyway, I'll send you that after the show. Yeah, and you could try that, and I think that would go a long way to help you as well. So, but I want you to at least feel the energy and, see what's up. Anything else come to mind for you?
Yeah, I was wondering how I didn't like to get the gallbladder removed. I've been using, what's it called? Breakstone tea from South America. That's helped a lot, but I wondered what more. See, what I heard was if you get the gallbladder removed, you still have, it's only a 40% chance of cure, right? You still have the potential of getting stones and everything. So I just said, well, I was born with this. I'll kind of leave it in there. It wasn't an infection, so I went into the natural cures. So
I don't get that. I don't get that you need it out per se. But one of the best cleanses I've seen, I would do a couple things that come through for you. One, believe it or not, it's called the Coca-Cola gallbladder cleanse, and you can Google that. Anybody can Google that, and it literally has Coca-Cola in it, and EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, and lemon in it, and you mix that up as a little tornado, and you drink that down, and that'd go a long way of flushing out stones. I do get that you have gallstones, yes. It shows up as yes energetically. And that's always frustration in Chinese medicine and in things they whisper in my ear. It shows up as frustration. So, but even if you get your gallbladder taken out, you would still, what it basically does is it's processing greases and fats and things, and it helps with that, and it assists the liver a lot. And without that, you definitely want to be taking digestive enzymes. You show up more for digestive enzymes now. That would go a long way to help you. Anything you can take that's going to help process food more. But you'd be surprised if you did that Coca-Cola gallbladder cleanse. That would do a world of good for you. But I know what you're saying, and if
Coca-Cola.
I know. Well, you think of it as medicinal. Just psych yourself out. Yeah, just psych yourself out. You have to. It's really because it has phosphoric acid in it, and it makes the olive oil and the lemon juice more palatable. Trust me. So you'll love it after you'll like it better than solid olive oil with lemon. Let's just say that. So.
All right.
But that's worth looking at, I think. And and anything you can do for more. You don't even test for plant-based digestive enzymes. You test for like HCl, diapan-9s from thorn. There's a lot of different types of supplements and things you could take, and that's going to help assist your gallbladder.
I've been using True Nature Digestive Probiotic, and if you start getting, farts or burps, you just take that and it goes away instantly. I give my husband.
Well, that's great.
So I don't know. It's just like, whoa. Do you see anything else physically for me?
No,
Besides
that's
old age
pretty good over. Yeah, no. When you even say that, it's pulling me back to no, so that's always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But the gallbladder, like I said, I would
good.
definitely get ahead of that curve, so I didn't have to get it taken out.
Yeah.
And they've gotten pretty darn good at taking them out. But if you can help it, and leave the earth with everything in you, why not, right? So there you go.
How are you doing since you got yours removed? Has it been good?
I do fine on all that. I think that it's. I really think that it's still a balance, and I've got a great acupuncturist friend that I see, and she also recommends. I see two, but both of them would recommend. Really, the pink Himalayan salt tests great for most everybody because it's got more minerals in it than salt, sea salt. So either sea salt or the Himalayan salt goes a long way, but you really need more minerals once you get that taken out, I find, and you certainly need to step up the digestive enzymes a great deal.
Yeah.
And, that helps out a lot. So,
excellent.
But I feel great,
What about weight loss? After
weight
menopause,
loss. Okay.
I put on some weight. What do you suggest for?
Yeah,
I know I'm overweight.
I would
I'd
do.
like to lose it.
Sure. Yeah. The first thing that comes through for you would be anything white. I'd be cutting out things that are white. I also don't believe in totally cutting stuff off, but I would make different changes. In other words, I'd go from white rice to you test good for brown rice. You actually test better for wild rice. So if you're going to eat white rice, I'd switch to wild rice, and instead of white potatoes, you could do yams. Instead of white sugar, we do stevia or a honey. Test good for you actually, and so you want to kind of switch those things up.
Okay.
Dairy doesn't even test that week for you, so that's okay. But I'd probably switch to almond milk or something that you like that's different. If you're going to ever do a dairy, I would do something more almondish. That tests better for you. So things like that, I think that go a long way. We can line up even your hormonal system right now. That would help you out a great deal because it does feel like you're carrying this added weight. Yeah, and you could just say, one of my favorite ones to do would be, I'm at my ideal weight for my height and body type, and that's going to pull you back to no.
Okay, I'm at my ideal height and weight. Okay.
Height and body type, no. We're going to change that to yes, and you'll feel the pull forward when it comes in.
Okay.
There you go. And you're Hawaii, and I'm Florida, so there you go. You can use your pendulum, too. You can, go ahead and sit down and use your pendulum. We'll show you that as well. Okay, awesome. Okay. So let's just check your hormones and your endocrine glands. I call it organs, glands, and systems. So right now it would be your organs, glands, and systems are weak. It's going to show you a yes on that. And you don't even need to tell me what your yeses and nos are. I'd rather not now. So just tell me if you get a yes for my organs, glands, and systems are weak.
Yeah, it's funny doing a yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna change that, and it's going to release to a no now.
Okay.
Watch the change.
Yeah, it's changing now.
There you go. So from Florida to Hawaii with love, right?
I'm going to be perfect after this.
Okay.
Not
I love
just
it.
take off 30 years. 30 years, reverse the time machine.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
How do you feel, champ?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's very good. Very good.
Yeah. You can watch at school too, so you can at least get a feel for what it is. But the cool part about what I do now is it's very easy, it's fast, it's fun, it's teachable, and it doesn't take you very long to figure it out and learn it, and I just think it makes a huge difference. Now, there's always going to be a little bit of everything, whether it's prayer or meditation or this or diet or supplements, but this is the fastest, deepest thing I've ever seen, and so that's why I love it, and that's what I use.
That's great. Now, that you learned from being in this near-death experience?
Correct.
How
that
did
is
you
correct.
learn? Oh, okay. So how did you learn this? Was this something that did a guide come and show you, or did you?
Correct. It was shown to me just almost like a movie screen, and they ended up showing me the infinity, and it looked very chromatic, very silverish, if you will, and it looked like an 8 or an infinity, an 8 laying on its side, and then it slowly broke off the left back end, and then it was only the fish. And so there was constant movement coming in and out of that, and that's what I was shown, is to take out the negative like we just did and go to heaven and bring in and download the positive. And, I didn't really catch the full meaning at the time. And, gosh, it took me about 6 to 8 weeks to get over all that, of course. Even, when you go to a step-down unit, they didn't think I'd live, and had to go through rehab and walk again. And they go, they were so funny. They told me in rehab, they showed me the rehab girls, and they said, these girls are going to teach you to walk again. Well, I'd only been there like 7 or 8 days. I thought, well, how hard could that be, right? Oh, what a joke that was. So all I could do is sit up, let alone use a walker, So it took me quite a while to get over it, but, those are the kinds of experiences that never really leave you. It was so just seared into my brain that, oh, my gosh, I got to write this down as soon as I'm able, and I've got to figure this out and play with it more. So that's what came about. So love it.
Excellent. Now, I know Karen's got some things she might want to share or talk about. You want to take it, Karen?
Well, I'm excited. I'm real excited because, Jimmy, you worked on me a couple months ago on another show. And I'm like,
did I? Okay.
Yes, you did.
All right.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and I was in the throes of shingles, and I was having the symptoms of post-herpetic neuralgia, which is some of the nerve pain that comes with it. And you talked about, I remember very distinctly, talked about Epsom salt, and I started using Epsom salt on the problem area I have now is my legs and feet. And here's the deal. I had a new PA, physician's assistant, I was working with, and he tested me out and found out my blood sugar had some issues. I got my blood sugar under control, but I have, symptoms in my feet and ankles of, basically neuropathy. And it's weird because I got my numbers down and we're doing really good, and all of a sudden this neuropathy flared up right when everything else was getting better. So I was like, what the heck is that about? So I have been using Epsom salts. I'm just still having quite a bit of problem with that. So I would say this. I put myself on a regime with different things that made sense, minerals like you were saying, a couple of homeopathic things that were really, really good for leg cramps. That really helps me a lot. But I'm still on this path of trying to get myself better, and I'm also getting up and moving more. We just moved, so I've been able to not lift big boxes, but move stuff. So I'm improving. I would just like to get the rest of the way. You know what I mean?
Stand up.
The rest of
Stand
the way.
up.
I am doing that right now.
Stand up. All right. So due north. So we're going to run you as already clear, unclear to know, and running forward. We're going to go really, really fast for you, okay?
Okay.
And you can just go ahead and say that I have neuropathy in my feet, and it'll pull you forward to yes.
I have neuropathy in my feet. Oh, yeah.
And we're going to release it, resolve it, delete and erase it, take out the weakness and strong weakness and anything holding it in place. It's going to pull you backwards when it leaves. And you'll feel the drift backwards. And a lot of times people will be hung forward for a little bit, and it's going in and grabbing it. And then all of a sudden it'll pull you straight back and delete it all out. And it does feel like feet of clay. It feels like cement to me, and also very tingly and nervous. And
yeah, very stiff. My toes are really
feet
stiff.
of clay. They're showing me, really cementish. And but
I have trouble getting up off the floor. I can't get my foot to bend enough to push me up. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like lack of pliability, in other words. But let me know when the neuropathy piece pulls you backwards, okay?
Okay.
And we're taking it all out now. Here we go. let's have her learn all the lessons she needs to from that is no. Change it to yes. Having this still serves her is no. Here we go. And then it'll pull you straight back when all that leaves. Let it be safe and comfortable for her to release all that. Thank you. And you'll feel the wave, and then it'll pull you straight back when it goes. It almost feels like feet of clay or feet of cement. We're just going to delete all that out as well. Allow her feet and toes to be more pliable. Have her learn all the lessons she needed to from this neuropathy. And release her from the service to it. And delete it all out into the void. Thank you.
One other thought there is to work
Sure.
on scoliosis. My scoliosis I had since I was 13. Okay. I had an accident which made it kind of worse. That sort of feeds into that too.
Yeah. Well, let's get you to go backwards on the neuropathy on the feet. Let's see how that plays out. There we go. She can play along with her pendulum and actually watch this move energy, even though I'm in Florida and New Mexico and she's in Hawaii. And it'll go neuropathy in her feet to no. You'll see the no, and then it'll pull her straight back. And it's a very stuck energy. And it's almost like all that stuff you're talking about and the back issues, scoliosis type of issues, and bone issues have settled down in your feet, if that makes sense. And often they're saying you feel as if you're going through the marsh or the mud or the bog, like you're wearing waders in the cranberry marsh or something. So we want to delete all that out as well. So we'll get it to where you're feeling the wave here. She's clear as yes, unclear as yes. Delete that to no. Pull her straight back when you're done. And then she'll see the no on the pendulum as well, and it'll release. And I'm just talking so that anybody that ever tunes in, they won't hear dead air.
Dead air.
The death of radio.
Just to get some feedback is right when you say no. That's exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
I love
the
body. I love the body pendulum idea because you always have your body around.
Yeah,
you know?
I know, right? Well, and a lot of people,
right.
They'll test with their fingers. They've had work done. They know how to test with their fingers, and they might use a pendulum or dowsing rods or whatever it is. Ultimately, I would say to everybody, over time, you figure out three things. One is there's energy in everything. You're hard-pressed to not argue with that. I mean, everything is energy, and the wind underneath the dove's wings and the rainbows and us talking right now. The second is you want to figure out how to measure that, and that would be the pendulum or the standing dowsing or using your fingers over time. And then the third is the power in changing it. And I've got plenty of psychic friends that are awesome, but for them to tell me awful things that I already know, and now there's just two of us that know awful things, right? So
yeah. I don't need that. I need to go the positive way, right?
Let's go with solutions, right? So
right.
There you go. There's a lot of wave coming in right now for you, and it's going to pull you backwards on the scoliosis. Learned all the lessons you need to from that. It's no. Change it to yes. Having scoliosis still serves her as yes. Release that to no. Impact of the accident. You had an accident too, they're saying. It's shock and awe. It wasn't so much shock as awe. It was like awe. And it wasn't even shock. They're saying it was awe. Like you were just in awe of how bad, how much worse it could get.
What happened it was weird. I was coming down a boat ramp, and it broke at the very end, and I bounced like I was on a diving board, and I actually stuck the landing and didn't fall. That was the awe part. Like, how did I not fall? But it was that impact, and it literally changed my profile. After the next X-ray I got, I actually had lost even a little bit more function in the next vertebrae down from the one I had that acted up when I was 13. So, yeah. I didn't even know I had that. I knew there was more pain, but I just didn't know. It was a very strange accident. It didn't feel it at first. That would be
yeah, and that's why I say it wasn't so much shock as awe, and it was almost
like, oh my God, I didn't. I'm on a boat ramp. I didn't fall off the ramp into the water. I didn't fall down and on my face or anything. I just was like one of those gymnasts. I just landed the landing, hard. Right. But it was very amazed. The big feeling was amazement. It really, really was.
Well, amazement that it could have been a whole lot worse, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Thank God.
I was really sort of thankful. Yeah, I was really thankful it wasn't worse, but it did play out over the next few months. Yeah.
Let's grab that too. So if you just go back to that moment and you think for a minute of that boat ramp and the awe and everything else that went into it, it's going to pull you straight forward to yes. And we're going to find that and grab it, and she's going to use her pendulum, and you'll get a yes on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell me when you're there. I'm already there, but you tell me when you get there. There it goes. And we're going to release all that, have her learn all the lessons she needs to from it, release her from the service to it, and take out all that shock and awe, the chaos, the drama, mystery, intrigue, the upsets of it all, and any of the body shocks or weaknesses it caused, and pull her straight back when you're done and show her in Hawaii the pendulum that it's gone to no now. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Hawaii will get the no, and here comes New Mexico, and it's going to pull you straight back.
I like that pulling part.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. You feeling it?
Well, I'm in the right place here. I know that. I'm in the right place here.
I love it.
Yeah.
How does that feel now?
Good. Very good.
Love it. It's different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I was in this state of dealing with jingles, and I just was told by my guides, you need to reach out to every healing person and have them work with you. I had a extraterrestrial who I've had visit me before, who's like a all yellow being, and wrapped me in a yellow cocoon for a while. And that was a really turning point in that condition. And I just I had a friend recently visit me and tell me some stuff that was super helpful, and this is great. So yeah. Don't we all need that? Don't we all need that?
We all do.
Need that.
We all do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just you were at a healing seminar and then you had to be healed. You had to go to the hospital. I mean, that's interesting. That's
right.
Interesting.
So we all just kind of going through our different motions here. You know, it comes up for you in the shingles thing, by the way, and you get down to the neuropathy in the feet and all that. Also, still, I'm taken back to liver, and so it would still be itchy. Anger and frustration, that sort of thing, resentment more than anything else, by the way, and I'm just going to release all that while we're talking about it. But anything you can do to do a liver cleanse, that would be dreamy. Beets show up for you. Those are very nourishing for the liver. Obviously, the fresh salads and different things. But you need to Google and ask Spirit to find you the absolute best, most natural liver cleanse as well. And
good. My partner was led to have me do that, and I ran out of the stuff. I didn't get the stuff, but I think it helps a lot. Yeah, thank you. That's spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just what they're talking about. So you definitely need that, and that'd go a long way to help you both. And by the way, you could do that gallbladder cleanse because that also helps with the liver. The Coca-Cola one, believe it or not. But you can Google, if you just punch in Google and Coca-Cola gallbladder cleanse, it'll pop up. It's under Cure Zone, I think it is. But you'll see it.
Okay.
If you were to do that, that's going to really rock your world, too, in a good way. And both of you could stand also to do hydrocolon therapy. And I don't mean forever. I mean at least go through a session of that. And that will cleanse out everything that's flushing out from the liver gallbladder cleanse. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Makes
sense.
It does
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Well, we hope we can
Oh.
make a difference here, and I tell everybody, it isn't so much right now, but the proof in the pudding is when we hang up and what you notice that's different afterwards. And so I'm hoping and praying you're going to have profound experiences today and tomorrow and the next day, and in a week or 2 or 3 after that you'll attribute to not basically how cool Jimmy Mack is, but how powerful this is. And the three of us together actually creating the triad of this energy, if you will, and coming together and shifting these things around. And I think that makes a big difference too. So.
I think the Epsom salt thing was so simple. I went to Walmart and I got it was like a milk carton full of it, and we had a little one of those foot bath things, and I put my feet down in it and rubbed it on my lower legs, and it was incredible how simple that was, and it felt quite good, and it's just awesome. Yeah, that was a good idea.
And often simple is what comes through, and you might be the only person I've talked to in 2 weeks that comes up for it, but they whisper in my ear, and my obligation is to at least tell y'all what it is. Now, after we hang up, or if I tell somebody 5 things they need to do and they don't do any of them, then good luck, right? But it's on them at that point. So, but often there are a lot of little simple things we can do, and they can be game changers, and it makes a big difference in how you feel. So I love it. And again, I'm not anti-Western by any means. I tell all my clients and friends, if you break your arm or your pregnant wife breaks water, by all means go to the hospital. Don't come here, So there's great things around Western and dentistry, and there's times when you're going to need a Z-pack of antibiotics to get past it all, and so I get it, but for the odd weird things on your elbow and the doctors all scratch your head and go, we don't know, and try this third medication, then why not try it and then see what happens? So, because ultimately it could be some just bizarre thing out there that no one is seeing or finding, and then, when we do things like this, everything has a chance to shift and change. And that's really what you want to embrace, is the change. So.
Yes, I was the health professional I'm dealing with is very pro that, they have to bring in all your meds and all your supplements just to make sure nothing crosses, right? And how positive he was about it, and how I had to do very practical medical things based on my blood sugar issues that runs in my family, and we were basically did the right things for that and got everything under control. We could work on that a second if you want. It's like,
do it.
Do it. Oh, let's do it. I actually got it under control. I'm on the lowest levels of the medication I'm on. I'm almost like going to kick it off if I keep going the way I'm going. So I'd love to work on that.
Yeah, do that. So let's start with my blood sugar is normalized, and see if you go forward, back, or in between. And she can be doing the pendulum at the same time.
It's like slight forward,
Yeah, it's normalized. We're going to make it stronger for you. Now it's going to pull you stronger forward. You'll feel the drift. There you go. Here's the change coming up. It's going to pull you forward harder now. And then the other one I would do is a lot of people in your situation will actually be allergic to their own blood sugar. So watch this. You can say that, I'm allergic to my own blood sugar. It's going to pull you forward for yes.
I'm allergic to my own blood sugar. What was that?
Good. That's good. It's no now, but I guarantee it was yes before. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah. And then let's do I'm allergic to my own insulin. Let's start there.
I'm allergic to my own insulin. Yeah, it's going.
And it's going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're going to release that, resolve it, delete it, and erase it, have her learn all the lessons she needed to from it, release her from the service to it, and it'll pull you straight back when it leaves. She'll be in Hawaii getting a no when it goes to no. Here we go. lot of times these things can have to do with DNA and history level or core of this incarnation or mom or dad or 3 lifetimes ago or who cares, just get rid of it, and change it. And when this pulls you straight back.
Definitely family. Definitely family.
Yeah, it is. And it's going to pull you straight back and it'll release all the allergies to the instant. Go. So it'll be, I'm allergic to my own insulin. I'll go to no. And you're going to catch it in the in-between where it's barely going forward, then it starts to go back, and here we go. There it goes. She'll get a no in Hawaii on her pendulum right now.
Yep.
And then you're going to feel a real good pull backwards. Let's go. It's gone from you.
Good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's going to help you. Yeah, you can feel it, right?
Very waving back and forth. I think good. 3 generations of issues with that, and
you probably noticed three waves as well.
Yes, I did. My grandmother died from it. My dad got it under control. Had heart issues, but he got that under control. I would like to end up with it, not an issue. Thank you. There you go.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing I'd throw into that is just go ahead and think about your medication for your blood sugar right now, and let's just align you with that and make it safe and comfortable to take that with 0 side effects. So you don't even need to say what it is, but you just think of it in a little balloon up in front of your head, or just maybe a foot in front of you and maybe a foot above your head. So think of that medication for just a second, flash that up there, and we'll just say it's safe and comfortable to take this medication with 0 side effects, and just let me know if you go forward, back, or in between.
Okay. Right in between.
And how does it feel? Is it right in the in-between? Okay. So we're going to pull you forward on that. We're going to release everything, resolve it, delete it, erase it, surrender it up now. Have her learn all the lessons you need to from this medication. Release her even from the service to it. Pull her straight forward when you make it safe and comfortable. We're going to take this medication, 0 side effects. You'll feel the wave going forward now. And it's very gradual. And her pendulum will show a yes in Hawaii when it comes in. And it's actually going to pull you forward and then come back to neutral. You'll feel that. So we want you to be able to take that. Like I said, 0 side effects. And this gives us the highest probability of that happening. And when you come back to neutrality, it'll be complete. It almost feels like it fills us up going forward or back, getting pulled backwards, deleting things off of us, and having that pull forward almost feels like somebody's filling us up.
It's interesting you picked up on the side effects issue, because the first medication I took, I had a very bad allergic reaction. So this one is good.
And that's what they're talking about. Yeah, and so when you're talking to me about blood sugar and I'm telling you about allergic reactions, it's never me. It's your people whispering in my ear.
My people.
So. You got peoples. My little girlfriend says, yeah, but you cheat. They tell you everything. So.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be a challenge.
So, but it's all good. All good. So that's bound to help us as well. And obviously, if long-term you can get off those meds whenever that works for you, then that's fantastic. And if you're down to the lowest dose, even if you had to ride that out, then that's great too. So, makes sense?
Oh, yes, absolutely. My PA was happy, and now I'm happy, and you validated that for me. Thank you. I'd like to think I'd eventually not need it, and that'd be nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the goal for everybody, except the pharmaceutical companies. But yeah,
yeah.
Right? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So, if you can get to the natural stuff, but you got to do what you got to do. They've had their successes as well, so it's whatever works. So, very cool. Ooh, well, I feel good. How do y'all feel?
That feels great. I have a question for you.
Sure.
My girlfriend's daughter is facing horrendous cancer challenges, and she's engulfed freeze. Is there anything you can do? Literally, her blood count and platelets drop, and she's been in and out of like the hospital, and they've been doing emergency blood transfusions. They can't even find her blood half the time. So they don't know if she's going to make it through to the next morning, so they may not find her blood type because it's kind of rare. So is there anything you can do? Her name is Ginger, and she's in Gulf Breeze.
Sure. Well, let's see what we can do. When you say Gulf Breeze, where is that?
Florida.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I'm in Florida, so that's interesting.
Breeze,
and
Florida.
Isn't that more? That's more from the Panhandle, right?
Yeah, her name is Ginger Parrish, and she's got a blog and calls herself Cancer Cowgirl on Facebook, and she said I'm going to video it every day to show people, what this process is, to help other people. So she's being very vulnerable, very brave, but it's called MDS. It's a form of cancer called MDS,
MDS. All right, so just go ahead with your pendulum, and we'll just say Ginger has MDS, and it'll go to yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to release it, resolve it, erase it, disentangle it all out into the void now. Have her learn all the lessons she needs to from it, release her from the service to it, take it up into the void. And it'll switch to no for you when it takes it all out energetically.
Okay, yes.
There you go. So those are the kinds of things I would do. I find that over time what shows is cancer has a component, and it can be bacteria. Hers is viral. It doesn't test as bacteria. It's virus. Mold, fungus, mildew, yeast, candida. So it has a candida, viral, and a parasite. Yeah, and a parasite mixture in it. So it looks like, always to me, back in the day, my mother would make the Toll House cookies, and you'd have all that mixture of different things. And so that's what cancer looks like to me, with different components, but that's what she's got going on. So anything she can do nutritional-wise to knock out, virus, again, she needs to be on a candida diet, no sugar diet, because it's starving that. It's really going after that, sugar cancers, they're showing me. And then I would do a parasite cleanse as well. So those are the kinds of things. And if she comes at it from that angle, she has a higher probability of knocking that out. And in fact, they're showing me it's a blood issue as well, and because they're showing me a river, and so that's always blood to me. And she could stand to be doing, instead of their $800 saline IV, she needs to find a clinic that does the Myers cocktails and things. So she needs to really get the vitamins and minerals and things through that way. And they even have a new one out now that's really cool. And it's a UV IV, and it's FDA pending right now. And can you imagine they stick this IV in your arm, and then a little probe goes through this little sleeve. It looks like almost a rod, if you will, going through a coat hanger into your arm, and it has a light strobe at the end. And all the rage right now in air conditioning, believe it or not, is to have the vents with these UV lights in there, and it kills off bacteria and virus and mold, fungus, mildew, and all the issues with
I need that here.
Right? Yeah. And see, they put that, the AC guys sell that, and all it is ultraviolet light. So you can imagine that going into her arm as an IV, her blood circulating past every 7 minutes, it would kill the tar out of what she's got going on, and that would be a higher probability.
Do you have a link for that?
Well.
Do you have a website? Do you have a website or a link for that?
There's a guy. There's different clinics here in the Tampa Bay area that have them, but you could Google it. It would be just called a UV IV, and you can send that to her as well. She friends me on Facebook. I'll help her all I can.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Information as well.
Okay, let me see if I can suggest a friend to her right now. Don't you love technology?
Awesome. I do. Come a long way. Or just email us both.
Ginger Parrish, Cancer Cowgirl. She's calling herself. And she's got a mask on. She paints.
I might get rid of the cancer name, but.
Well, see, that's part of it. She's
she's going to own it and delete it.
She's going to own it and delete it.
I'm going to say prayers. I'm going to say prayers that she gets rid of the cancer and can just go to Ginger Cowgirl. How's that? We'll do that.
That sounds good.
There you go.
Now, how do you suggest a friend? I know there's a way to suggest a friend.
On Facebook.
How you do that.
Just shoot me an email and send me your email, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thankfully, I've got a social media.
I'll give you her. I'll give her your because she's reaching out to the world. She's very her symbology is very Christian and Jesus. So she says, I'm doing this for the world, so that if I can beat cancer, then the whole world can. So she's got a IQ like 175 or something. So.
Oh wow.
So I'll give you brilliant young lady. So. Let's see if I got your email up. Anyway, I'll send that to you. And
awesome.
Anybody wants to donate blood, go there on Ginger Parrish, which she has Cancer Cowgirl, but we're going to tell her to get rid of the cowgirl. The cancer, call herself Ginger Cowgirl. I don't know why she's called herself Cowgirl. She's living in a Gulf Free. Yeah, so. Well, thank you. That's awesome. I loved what we just did. I don't know how people, what they thought of it out there in the world, but how do people contact you to get this, Jimmy? How do they contact you to get this procedure?
Oh, that's way to get a hold of me. Yeah, too, is just jimmymackhealing.com is my website, JIMMYMACK healing.com, and it's info at jimmymackhealing.com, and that's the easiest way to get a hold of me is email. I love email, and I get it on my phone, of course, and I get a lot of emails, and then I send people, anybody that writes from tonight even, we're going to send them an ebook, free audio MP3 to listen to, and some things, videos and things to watch, and all my stuff's free on that, so if they reach out and say they saw the show tonight or listened to the show tonight, we'll definitely send them all kinds of things. So.
Oh, that sounds great. Thanks for offering that to our listeners. Now, before we end our show, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about your books.
Okay.
You have several books, right?
Yeah, I wrote a bunch of different books. Tell the Fish is one of them. It's 365. It took about 7 years to write it. There's healing stories throughout the whole thing. It has affirmations at the very bottom, and it's every day of the year, and you go ahead and read a little story when you get up in the morning, and there's an affirmation at the bottom, and so it's similar to Louise Hay type of affirmation, and that can change everything for people. I did a lot of audio MP3s also. They're downloadable, everything from money to addiction to issues of travel, mental health, whatever it may be. So a lot of different things like that. My first book is called How to Heal Yourself and Others Now, and that does talk about my liquid fish. The follow-up to that was the Tackle Box, which has been the most popular one on Amazon. And so it's all got kind of fish themes to it. And it all talks about, all of what I do. And so we've got a lot of different ones that have come out. Then there's an advanced one. And then the most recent one is spiritual healing techniques, and that goes into a deeper level of my liquid fish. And when I say deep, I mean I'm a 12-year-old writing for a 12-year-old, so it's pretty straightforward stuff. It just gives you different menus and things to look at and to work on and test, and it breaks it down so it's a lot easier for people to work on themselves. And that's really what I'm all about, the empowerment of bringing this to people so that they can do it themselves.
Excellent. Anything else you want to cover, Karen? Did you have any other questions, feedback, thoughts, ideas?
Oh, no, it's great. I think I would definitely tell people to check out his website. I did a couple months back. I moved my head's in box. I hit my brain's in a box, I think, at this point, as far as remembering what happened. And I like the fish theme idea. That's an easy way to remember things. But, yeah, it's like, and I am going to follow up on that thing you were talking about the killing mold and fungus and things like that with light. It's amazing how I've dealt with and had a lot of problems with it living here in Mexico, mold, allergies, and issues. I know that's an issue for a lot of people that they don't even realize. It kind of sneaks up on them, depending on what living situation they're in, kind of housing they are, what kind of way their house is built, I think that's an important thing. Yes,
mold here, yeah.
I know they do stuff like that for water purification systems as well. So I think it's very interesting to be kind of looking into that. I think we're okay here. It's so dry. It's like I literally feel like a fish out of water going from the coast of Washington to the high desert. Wow. But, I've just known so many people that have struggled with stuff like that. And so that was a good tip. So thank you.
You bet. You're welcome. And thank you for having me on the show, ladies. I love it. So anytime we can get the word out there, all of us, then we're just elevating everybody else and bringing it up that much higher. And, it's really a spiritual food, that's for sure.
Yes, it is. Well, we'll have you back again another time. And want to thank you for coming on our show. I hope it was a good show for you. It was good for me.
You bet. You bet. Thank you.
I feel lighter. I feel much lighter. So, anyway,
thanks for having me.
I think that's about it for today. Thank you so much. And thank you, Karen. And
thank you.
We'll catch you again. Much love and blessings and aloha. Thank you for joining us on Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. Bye. Aloha.
Have you heard? Metro by T-Mobile now includes Amazon Prime. Yes, enjoy the best of shopping and entertainment, movies, TV shows, music, free shipping, and much more. All included for just $40 per line for 3 lines. All on the T-Mobile network. Discover the smarter way. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. One offer per account. Offer subject to change. $12.99 per month value. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video at 480p. Capable device required. See store for details and terms and conditions.